Hello everyone and welcome back to the YouTube channel, or welcome to if you're new. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to plant potatoes, my methods for growing potatoes. I'm not going as in-depth as I would, or as I am going to be going. I'm just going to do my first round, how I've done them before, very simply, and I will show you guys how I'm doing that. And also, sorry if you're a little more shaky than usual. My tripod broke, so we're using what we have, which is my hand. So the first step that you want to do, if you're growing potatoes like me, I grow my potatoes in 5-gallon buckets. Partly because we don't have the in-ground spaces, but also I can't just dedicate one of my raised beds to potatoes. So I use the 5-gallon buckets instead because this is where I got started. So when you have your 5-gallon bucket, drill holes in the bottom. You need good drainage with your potatoes because they are a tuber. They will rot if you do not have good drainage. So make sure that drainage is one of the top things that you have. Now, I fill up with older soil because potatoes don't like a lot of nitrogen, which is in really fresh compost. So what I do is I use the year before's compost, or sometimes 2 seasons ago. I think I even have some that's 3 seasons old in here. I just use that and I'll dump these out. Like every year I'll dump the buckets out and I will put them into the other beds, mix it all around, and then I'll just put it back into the buckets in the spring. So what I do, and this might be a little bit taller than I'd like, I fill my bucket, yeah, this is a little more soil than I'd like. I usually fill them about halfway to start out. And what I'll do, and because I have another bucket, I will take some of this soil out. This is getting everywhere. I will take some of this soil out and I will put it into another bucket to use for planting. But with potatoes, what you want to do is you want to continually add more soil to them, like just continue mounding them. In buckets, I just fill it all the way up to about this line right here, leaving a little bit so I can let it pool up a little bit when watering and then let it drain through. And that's what I do. Now let me get a potato and I'll show you, because I'm going to turn on music and do this as a speed run. My tripod is broke, like I said, so it definitely puts a hitch in some plans. But I got my potatoes. These are, I don't know what variety. It's a gold variety. These are Russet Norcota, and my potatoes look like this. I could further divide this, like I said in the potato video that I did. I'll have that link somewhere. But I could further divide this into each eye, or node, I'll call it. This growth point, I could have a whole potato growing from this one, a whole one from this one in the back, and then a whole one from this one up front, and then I have one in the back. I could divide this 5 times and get 4 more potatoes from this, but I'm not going to be doing that today. I am not going to be doing that today because it's already later than I would like to be planting these, but I also just don't have the time to wait. Well, I do have the time to wait, but I would like to go ahead and get these in, and I did that once before and they molded, so kind of discouraged me from doing that, but this is just fine as well. But you could get even more bang for your buck. So I placed my potato in there. I did move the soil to create a little hole, and then I will just fill it in like that. And I'll actually probably add some of the soil back from that I already took out. This is really hard with one hand, y'all. Add enough just to cover it. And these are going to be different heights. That's inevitable. They're going to be different heights when you're doing it. I just try to cover the potato at first, and then as it continues growing, I'll let it grow like 5 inches or so, cover again, and then cover the last little bit. But you want your potatoes to be completely covered, and then once they grow out, get probably here on the bucket, I will cover and then cover again once they get up here and once they're actually out of the bucket. And that seems to work really well for me. I've had great success with potatoes. I'm hoping to show you guys a bunch more ways to grow potatoes this year. And just for fun, I might go ahead and plant the other area today. So I will show you guys that as well. But let me go ahead and speed run, and I'll probably show you guys that at the end of the video. I don't know what was recording, to be honest, but some people might be wondering why I'm growing in a kiddie pool. This is for you guys. I'm trying to do an experiment to see which one grows best, and determining which one grows best I will be able to compare the two of these. Now, I don't do any in-ground potatoes, so that is putting a little hindrance on full experiment usage, but I'm going to try it in these and see, so then you guys can best make the decisions for when you guys are growing to see which ones work best. And then I can also use this knowledge to be like, okay, so I can free up my buckets because I'm going to get the same number of potatoes in the kiddie pool versus the bucket. Okay, enough talking. Let's get into a speed run. Four, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 29. I have 29 potatoes. Actually, that is wrong. I have 30 because I already planted the one. So I'm going to do 15 potatoes in, so this is 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, and then the rest of these will be going into the kiddie pool. So we will see how many potatoes, I'm going to see how many I can fit into the kiddie pool comfortably, and then I will do that same number of potatoes in buckets, and then I will just separate those buckets if I have too many. So that is my plan. I'm going to go ahead and, well, I'll show you guys first how I'm going to space them out. Because my video cut out, here are the potatoes. I actually fit all 15 in here. Could they use a little bit different spacing? Probably, but I'm not too worried about it. They should all grow perfectly fine. It's about a 5-gallon bucket area, so I'm really not worried about it. But we will see in a few months which one does better. I am going to dig these down a little bit into the soil and then cover them so then they can actually start growing a little bit better. But yeah, that is the plan, and I will take you guys along for this portion of it, and then planting my buckets, or getting my buckets filled and doing that as well. So I'll see you guys in just a minute. I just hope you guys don't fall. those potatoes are planted, let me go ahead and get my buckets done, and I will show you guys the finished product of those as well. But it's gonna be the same concept as the first bucket I showed you. That's the potatoes. They are mounted a little bit, like I said, but that's perfectly fine. And yeah, ultimately I think this is gonna be really good. I am going to cover it more eventually once they sprout and are above the bucket, or above the pool though. Actually, let me show you guys what else I'm going to be planting in. I'm going to be planting in this tote right here. This tote worked really well last year. I can fit 6 potatoes in it, and it's going to look really good, and it also cuts down on the buckets that I'm using at first. I'm just gonna get in there and mix up the soil for a few inches just so it's not as compact. Might do the whole thing even, but my hands are gonna get really dirty, so time for speed run portion of this as well. Is broken on the bottom. I'm not gonna worry about cleaning that out, but I am going to show you guys where I'm going to fill up the soil. I'm just going to use that for drainage. I might drill a hole actually, just do a few more. But what I'm going to do is fill it up about here, so about halfway on your, or a little under halfway, maybe halfway on your tote, and then plant the potatoes, and then just continually go up to about right here. Last year I found that really worked. Also, when you're doing things, you want your soil to not be compact. You want it to be loose, because potatoes cannot grow in hard soil. So keep that in mind when you're doing things, but ultimately just have a good time with it and you will figure out right ways to do it. Now let me actually get into the time lapse of this. Video cut off halfway through, so I'm sorry about that. But we have 30 potatoes. We have these 4, these 5, 15 in here, and then we have in the tote down there. But these guys, keep all of them separate. These guys, I will keep all of them separate, so I can keep these buckets separate from when I put others, and I will be able to see how many, if the buckets will produce more, if they produce less than the kiddie pool. If I had to guess, I don't know, I think it's either going to be the same, or roughly the same, or could go bucket's favor here. But I have hope in the kiddie pool. The kiddie pool has done a lot of good for me, so I have complete faith in that. But I need to get to filming another video for you guys. So thank you guys for watching me plant potatoes. Well, I'm not really watching. Video cut out. Again, sorry about that. But big things are happening. This is the first of a few plantings, and garden tours are going to be coming up. I'm so happy about that. We're going to be getting compost very soon, probably this weekend, the weekend